way that we are going to find our way home, the way that we are going to make a difference in this movement is by coming together. And so we are so delighted that you are here to be a part of this movement. And why is it that we're here again? We're here to step it up. I want to hear you say it too. So what are we here for? We're here to tell Congress to we're here to step up our own commitment to the earth on this beautiful spring day. We are here to
And I have two things to say. And the first is that the university has just, with an environmental committee, established environmental sustainability goals. And it's an opportunity and really an obligation to exercise leadership in promoting and reinforcing good environmental stewardship here at the university and in the community. And so what we are attempting to do is to educate students, faculty, staff, graduates, and supporting these same ethical, social, and environmental values in the local community.
We are part of a grassroots movement that I have been told has reached all the way across our nation. There are events like these happening, not only 8 of them here in our state of Rhode Island, but in all 50 states. People are gathering together to say, step it up, Congress, that we want to cut carbon emissions by 80% by 2050. And we give that a chance and hope by our coming together. This is one of the greatest grassroots movement, I've been told, since Earth Day in 1970. And you are a part of it.
You guys made the difference. I want you to know. It took Rhode Island to get to 51 in the Senate. And it took 51 in the Senate to get Jim Inhofe out as chair of Environment and Public Works Committee and Barbara Boxer in. So legislation like the Boxer-Saunders climate change bill that I'm a co-sponsor of really has a chance to go forward. I'm so glad that you guys are doing this to keep the pressure on. It's really important that this is part of a national day, that over 1,000 groups are gathered like this around the country today, because I think we get it pretty well in Rhode Island, but there are a lot of places where they don't get it quite so clearly, and we need to have those votes. We need to have 60 votes to get to cloture on this. We may even need 67 to override a presidential veto, but I hope he's not so benighted as that. But that's the range that we need to be in. So keeping the pressure on is really, really important. And with the help of people like you who've come out today and in the 1,000 other meetings like this across the country, with God's grace, yes, we will. Thank you.
Today, very much like it was 2,000 years ago, when Pilate washed his hands of the whole matter of how to deal with God incarnate. If we think about the earth as the body of God, we have so much of society trying to figure out what in the heck they do and how to engage this issue. But for us here on Aquidneck Island or anywhere across America, the issue, the worst thing that we could do is simply wash our hands and walk away from it, either because it's politically complex or technically complex. We need to engage the topic, as we are here today.
Climate change is here. After many wasted years of debate about whether climate change was real or if it was coming, there's finally been a sea change in public discourse about this issue in our country. And it is a long time coming, long overdue. But we've finally begun to face the impact of the emissions that we put into the air and the changes we have wrought on the land, and how that is fundamentally altering the world that we live in. Mother Nature is certainly smiling on us here today, and we're surrounded by incredible beauty and abundance. But that should only give us greater courage to face and stronger incentives to do what we have to do now.
I think we're already seeing some changes in migration patterns. As a birder, I was very enthusiastic about the geese that we had on Aquidneck Island this past winter. It was very odd to have geese that normally migrate down into Europe coming over on this side of the pond, so to speak. As things warm up and it changes the time that insects hatch, it changes the ability for the growing season for plants. It just tweaks, it makes small incremental changes that we probably won't recognize over time, but we'll certainly start to see these changes. And the impact on that has to do with what plants and animals will be able to survive in this area.
Just to keep it real little and real small so that all of us children get a feeling of what's happening in the grand scheme of things. There's this sky and this water, this land, these birds, these children, these elders, these young folks, we're all connected, we're all one. We start to get the idea there's a steady flow. Steady flow, steady flow. All us children dancing in the light, we're in a steady flow. Steady flow, don't be shy. Steady flow, you got it. All us children dancing in the light, we're in a steady flow.
In my industry, the hospitality industry, there are big companies like Cargill, which is a food processing company. And thing that Cargill is doing that's interesting is they're taking food scraps, specifically meat scraps, and they're using them to generate methane gas, which of course replaces natural gas, which is very expensive. A company doesn't have to be a big global giant or an industry leader to make a better choice for the environment. My company, Newport Harbor Corporation, recently converted all of our business units, this Castle Hill, the Mooring, 22 Bowens, the Newport Yachting Center, we all converted to wind power.
It is good to be here now. It is good to be here now together. Give yourself a hand.
Fishermen, we were hunters. We had chased fish in all their abundance. We were shepherds, and we herded them infinitely to market. Not always wisely, not always to the benefit of the environment. And now we're becoming farmers. But what will we harvest? Fishermen are finally learning to rotate our crops of species more effectively, switching the harvest of one species before they are over-harvested. But what will we harvest? I am not a scientist. I am not a naturalist. I am a fisherman. I have worked and lived by the seasons, and I don't know why, but the seasons are changing, and that is evident. There are those who scoff and call global warming a scam. And I like to say to them, do you think that the need for a healthy environment is a scam as well? Is clean water a scam? Is investing in the future environment for your children's children a scam? Is your retirement plan and what you pass on to your family only as deep as your bank account? Are you that shallow, and are you that selfish?
I brought along this thing here, this hawksbill sea turtle, because I thought it was a really good example of something that's been around for hundreds of thousands of years before the dinosaurs, and it survived the great mass extinction of the dinosaurs, and it's still with us today. However, today it's an endangered species, and it's an endangered species because of human activities, because of human changes that we've made in both the oceans and in the shorelines. So I thought we should bring it along just because it's a good example of an endangered species, but also of what's going on out in the environment.
We want you to be counted. We want you to be a part of this nationwide movement called Step It Up, and your presence here matters so much. We want to thank you. Thank you, Beth Millam and Russ Millam, Andy and Kelly Kittle, Susan Addy, for especially as our organizers today. I want to encourage you to look at the Step It Up website so you can see all the places across our nation where there have been gatherings just like this one.
I will find a way to get myself back home. First